Today we will talk about relationship with food, because your relationship with food can impact your training, friends, family, community, work, and even your future health. Athletes who often struggle with having a positive relationship with food often struggle with periods of binge eating and then dieting. Psychologically, they may be depressed or unable to process their emotions properly. And athletes who rely on restrictive diets with long list of rules have often lost their natural hunger and fullness cues, because they rely on calorie counts, schedules, meal plans, and devices to tell them when and how much to eat. I am Rashmi, Cherian, and as a high performance nutrition expert, I offer performance enhancing sports nutrition program without falling into the trap of diet mentality, and I also help my athletes to have a positive relationship with food. So athletes, understand this. Not every choice is going to impact your performance or body composition goals. Ultimately, consistency and progress compared to perfection is going to help you to live a quality-filled life. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss how to discover if you have healthy relationship with food or not, and how to address them. So if this interests you, then keep watching this video. Athletes, a good relationship with food has nothing to do with the quality of your diet or the type of food you eat, but instead how and why you choose the foods you eat. But how do you discover if your commitment to training goals is impacting your relationship with food in a healthy manner or not? So here are a few red flags for which you can evaluate yourself. Number one, a passion for healthy eating has turned into an obsession. You are guilty about eating. Then you avoid or restrict foods that are bad for you. Then you have developed a long list of rules that surround the foods you can or cannot eat. You rely on calorie counters or apps to tell you when you are done eating for the day. You start ignoring your body's natural hunger cues. You're blindly chasing a body image. Then you have a history of yo-yo dieting or following a latest diet fad. Then you feel extreme stress and anxiety when eating in a social setting due to the fear what others may think of your food choices. Then you find yourself restricting or binge eating food. And lastly, feelings of all kinds of shame, guilt, fear, and stress regarding the foods you eat. So if you want to get out of this unhealthy relationship with food, then here are few tips for you. And my first tip is to avoid referring food as good, bad, healthy, superfood, etc. So the vocabulary you use around food like clean, junk food, forbidden, or superfood can have a huge impact on your relationship with food. Instead of viewing food as good or bad, think of your food in your diet as performance enhancing or performance limiting, specifically by emphasizing on performance enhancing foods, which includes little to no other ingredients like whole grains, fruits and vegetables, dairy, nuts and seeds, and quality proteins. And you will gradually find yourself appreciating the foods that you put into your body. Athletes, understand this. No one food can harm you, or no one food can bring tremendous amount of change in the way you want. It's always a combination of foods that work together to bring a change in you. My next tip is to reintroduce the foods that you stopped earlier without any reason. Athletes, if you have removed something knowingly or unknowingly, let me tell you one thing. You are going to miss it and crave it until you get it back. So whether it is foods rich in carbohydrates, fats, or salt, or running again after an overuse injury, it's your habits and mentality that needs to change in order to develop a healthy relationship with food and exercise. So create a lifestyle that works for you so that you are in control of your eating and food is not in control of your life. My next suggestion is to practice mindful eating, because that can help you gain control over your eating habits. Research shows mindfulness practices and eating strategies can help athletes to reduce stress, improve the quality of life, improve sleep, and can even help to reduce the risk of injury and help in injury recovery. So athletes try to eat slowly without distractions and avoid talking with others or watching TV or mobile while eating, because that will help you to listen to your body's natural hunger cues and stop eating when you're full. My next suggestion is to allow yourself indulge in your not so healthy food options like pizza, pastries, etc. So eating burger, pizza, pastries were never a problem, but the portions which you eat is the thing that needs to be addressed. Balance is the key. Eating a small portion of our favorite so-called unhealthy food helps us feel better and good about ourselves. It lightens up the mood and makes us happy. So athletes, never restrict yourselves from having that one bite of cake or one slice of pizza. Then athletes, avoid dumping yourself with too much information and restrict following too many social media influencers. Internet is full of information, and the influencers whom you follow showcase their structured body and those perfect abs, leaving you with the feelings of guilt, shame, and whatnot. So do not try to copy the foods they have eaten to get into that shape, because no two bodies are same, and what worked for them may not work for you. So athletes, stop chasing those unrealistic goals and understand what works for you and search for information that supports all of that. Then my next tip is to avoid depending too much on the numbers on your weighing scale. Numbers on the weighing scale are not always true. A small change in your sleep schedule, a little extra stress on your body, bloating, etc. can change those numbers. So athletes, do not obsess over the numbers on your scale. Instead, focus on how your body feels and how your body reacts to the food you consume and eat accordingly. And my last but one of the most important suggestion is to take professional help, because improving your relationship with food doesn't happen overnight. It is a process, and in this you have to first unlearn a lot of things and then cultivate so many habits. And in this journey, you may sometimes feel that it is of no use, but still continue, because consistency is the key, and I highly recommend you to consult a qualified sports nutritionist to guide and help you in this journey. So each and every tip that I shared today is going to transform the way you look at food, and I look forward seeing your comments below. Tell me your favorite tip from today, and I do share a lot more content and tips in my private Facebook community, as this is the place where I can communicate with you more. So if you haven't joined my community, then link is in the description box below. Share this video with your friends and fellow athletes. Subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms, as I share a lot more content over there. And be back here next week, as I'll be here too. Until then, take care and have a lovely weekend.